The White Queen forces Iron Man to bend the knee. We're talking X-Men number 26 today on The Newest Mutants. Hello, I'm Laz, and welcome back. I'm your favorite mutant, and today don't forget to stick around to see a comic book which I showed off before, but it's one of my favorites ever, and the most relevant issue that I own compared to this issue. So let's just get started by looking at the cover of the book that we're discussing today. And this is the left side of the connecting covers by Lucas Werneck. The other one belonging to Invincible Iron Man number 10. Here is the full spread right here. It is gorgeous. With that, let's see who our other contributors to this book are. We have writer Jerry Duggan, artists Jim Toe and Javier Pina. Our color artist is Marta Gracia, and our letterer is Clayton Cowles. And as always, our immortal editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, it's C.B. Cebulski. Now, let's get to X-Men number 26. Just to start out, the narration boxes in this book are from the perspective of Ben Urich, reporter for the Daily Bugle. You can almost imagine it if he's writing a story to be seen in the papers. So let's begin. We get a quick flashback sequence as to what happened at the Hellfire Gala regarding the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, where most of the humans were killed, but not him, and his belief that his wife, Typhoid Mary, was also killed. As you know, Mary is in Vanaheim on an epic quest of sorts. You can see more in my Realm of X #1 video. This leads to a conversation between Fisk and Emma Frost. Fisk leverages the chaos of the gala to make a deal with Emma Frost and take control of her assets, making him the new White King of the Hellfire Club. He makes it clear now that he employs her. And so we cut directly to the Hellfire Club itself, where the White King is now holding court. The new Black King is Tony Stark, and he is playing the role of a billionaire playboy, of course, without his billions. It's an act, of course. Meanwhile, Emma is also putting on an act as Hazel Kendall, Tony's assistant. The two of them discuss Firestar, who Orchis believes was working with them and turned against her fellow mutants. Emma wants to know if she's the mole because an assassin is coming to kill her. Tony knows that Firestar is not a traitor. I don't know how, but he knows, and has to get word to her before the assassin shows up. As they finish their conversation, Ms. Kendall tells Tony to keep his hands to himself in front of other members of the Hellfire Club. We cut over to Kamala Khan, the New Mutant. If you've been following along at home, you know that she's got her own assignment at an Orchis-run university. We see her walking and running into a group of kids who are beating up someone they are calling a mutie, which is, a slur for mutant, if you didn't know. Kamala doesn't use her powers because of the mutant hate, but instead stops the attack by filming the kids on the phone and saying she's going to make them go viral or whatever. They run off. Kamala approaches the mutant, and we find out this person isn't a mutant at all. She just has alopecia. Hatred runs deep. So now we are on an Orchis space station, and we catch up with Shadowkat, who is the assassin that Emma Frost was discussing earlier. She's searching the facility for Firestar, and in doing so, takes out a bunch of Orchis guards. She finds Firestar, and a battle begins. Shadowkat calls her a traitor and would have easily dispatched Firestar, but Firestar stops the fight and tells her what exactly happened, and that is, as Jean Grey lay dying at the Hellfire Gala, she implanted fake memories into Dr. Stasis, one of the people responsible for the fall of X. And those memories included that Firestar was a traitor and helped bring their plan into fruition. Shadowkat gets one more good hit in for good measure, and then helps Firestar up, saying, "That sounds like the most Jean thing ever." Convinced, Shadowkat leaves the station, letting Firestar remain in the good graces of Orchis. Back on Earth, Shadowkat and Ms. Kendall, Emma Frost, are chatting in a back alley outside of the Hellfire Club. First, they discuss Cyclops. They don't know where he is. They're both worried, of course. Second, Emma is ready to leave and work with Shadowkat. She's already helped out Tony, claiming, he's desperate for a new Iron Man suit. Shadowkat is looking forward to them teaming up, claiming together there is no one that they can't kill together. Ah, very nice. Emma goes back inside the club to inform Tony that she is leaving. They have an argument about it, and Tony doesn't want Emma taking the ring off that suppresses both her powers as well as prevents the Sentinels from finding her. He's worried. They have a scuffle over this, and Emma takes the ring off and knees Tony in the groin. He drops to his knee, he picks the ring up, and that's when Fei Long, his current enemy, walks in. And as a cover, Tony proposes to Hazel Kendall. Emma makes one telepathic projection to Kitty saying, "Something has come up, I'm sorry." And as Kate Pride, Shadowkat is walking away, she says, "Me too, Emma." And that's the book. It's really short. This is a really short issue. And welcome to the part of the episode where I thank you for making it this far, and I'd like to ask a question. That question being, should Tony and Emma remain a married couple? They're not married yet in the comics as far as we've gotten, but, there's often not a lot of permanence in the world of Marvel Comics, and I understand the need to shake up the status quo, but sometimes a permanent fixture, like a married couple, for example, helps to really shape stories. I think that we all saw it with Spider-Man and Mary Jane while they were still married canonically, but that's a subject for a different YouTube channel altogether. So, should they remain married past this arc? Let me know what you think in the comments, and while you're there, you know what to do. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. It really helps out a lot, and we do appreciate it. Now, back to the newest Mutants. With that, let's get to my takeaways on this issue. First, I'm kind of sad that Tony and Emma aren't really in a real relationship yet, as it clearly is one they need for the sake of keeping up appearances and protecting Emma Frost from, anti-mutant forces, Sentinels, Orcus, etc. This could be a real rom-com moment, though, in the making for Marvel, and with Emma perhaps exploring her inner Hazel Kendall, and Tony perhaps following either for the real Emma or even for the persona of Hazel Kendall. I can't wait to see the direction that they go, but I do like them as a couple. I've said it all along since Iron Man number 8. Next, this issue overall was okay. If you're reading every other book in Fall of X, you kind of know most of this information already. But there are two standout developments specific to this book. One, of course, is the proposal to Hazel by Tony, and the second is the acknowledgement by Shadowkat of Firestar being a secret mole set up by Jean Grey. Now, we already knew she was the secret mole, but the fact that Shadowkat knows means that the wider group of X-Men will finally have a one-up on Orcus after taking so many L's. This is good for them. And with that, we are now going to check out my favorite panels of the book. My third favorite panel is this image of Firestar with Shadowkat's blade at her throat. The detail, Firestar's expression, it really goes to show the fear that Firestar had at the hands of Shadowkat. She really thought Kate was going to end her. I thought it was a very well-drawn panel, if, a little small, but very good. My number 2 panel belongs to this panel of Shadowkat rushing through the Orcus space base. Great action pose. I love her ninja look so much. Kate's evolution from terrified schoolgirl to ninja assassin is insane. Of course, it took, 40 years in book, but, it's very cool. Last, of course, but not least, and my favorite panel in this book is of Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. Check it out. His face is covered in shadows. He's looking ominous as he agrees to help Emma Frost. I feel like Fisk deserves his turn again as a terrifying villain, perhaps after Fall of X, and he can certainly do that with the power and the resources of the Hellfire Club. as we shall see. But please enjoy this Wilson Fisk Kingpin image. It's my favorite in this book. And that's it. But before I go, and I know I've shown this book off before, but it is relevant once again. It is Uncanny X-Men number 129. This is the first appearance of Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde, Shadowkat. I find it very interesting that they're about to work together as a team, despite their first meeting in this book being a lot more tumultuous. Also, if you look, you can see this has Chris Claremont's autograph. It's really cool. But here's a picture on screen so you can take a better look at Uncanny X-Men number 129. That's our featured book of the day. Next time on The Newest Mutants, we're going to be talking about Immortal X-Men number 15. Until next time, my mutants, Excelsior.